By Duquesne head coach Dan Burt and student athletes Precious Johnson and Megan McConnell. We will begin with an opening statement from Coach Burt, and then we will open up for questions for the student athletes. Coach?
We're obviously pleased with how we performed for the most part today. We had outstanding contributions. These two young ladies that were here, that are here with us on the stage, obviously were a big part of that. Megan with a completely all-around game and her just filling the stat sheet. And then I felt like Precious Johnson maybe not had the most rebounds that she's had all year long, but I thought her activity on the glass was exceptional and did a really nice job in the post to score the ball. And I'm also excited because this is Precious Johnson was able to get her 1,000th point today in this game, and we now have 6 1,000-point scorers playing on our team right now.
We'll open it up for questions for the student athletes. There's a microphone. You don't have no mic now?
Not working.
Got it. Okay. Go ahead. Yep.
Okay. All right. Chris Powell, Couch Coach Live. Precious, congratulations. 100,000. 1,000. Yeah.
Wow, PJ.
How's that feel, just as far as just to get to reach that milestone?
It feels great, especially having my teammates' support and my coach's support. It feels great.
Meg, for you guys at the end were chanting the Burn the Ships chant. Just what has it meant to embrace that and to deal with all of the Viking helmets?
At first, I think we definitely thought it was a little bit of a joke, but now I think we're just going to take it and run with it at this point. Coach Burt has invested time into buying the hats and everything, and it became a chant, so I guess we're just going to go with it now.
Daniel Frank from A10 Talk. You guys did a lot of things really well today. You dominated the paint. You had a lot of points off of turnovers. Second chance points of 17-1. What did you guys see out there today against UMass that led you guys to be so successful?
I think we did a really good job in our press, our 22 press. We started off a little slow, and then our press, we got turnovers, we got steals, we just found the open press in, and I think that our press really set the tone for the rest of the game.
Meg, how big was that timeout? Just the ability early on to just reset, take a breath, and just get into yourselves?
Yeah, having that day off, watching them before we got to play them, just having that reset, we're fine, we've been here, we're good. So it was a great timeout call by Coach Burt, and then after that, we just ran with it.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
Yeah, Megan, people have stat lines like you had today. I don't feel like they don't have them as often as you have them. And you rebound really well for being 5'7" and you just get involved in things. Why do you play the way you do? Where does that come from?
That's a good question. There's no rhyme or reason as to why I play the way I play. I think I just am the type of person that if I'm going to be on your team, I'm going to do whatever I can to win. And that's just my mindset, and I'm a competitor, so once I step foot on that floor, it's my 4 girls with me, and I'm rocking with them, and if anybody tries to get in our way, you better watch out. That's just my mindset, and I try to instill that with my teammates, just if anyone's in our way, you need to be able to knock them down, and I think just playing gritty and playing really hard is what wins you championships. So that's what I'm here to do.
On the Burn the Ships mantra, do either of you remember the first time that Coach brought it up to you? And I guess what that meeting was like and how it resonated initially?
I'm sure they were like another hair.
I think we were watching film and he walked in with that hat on and we were like,
And he said,
what
"Burn
do
the
you do?"
ships."
Yeah, he just said it flat out, burn the ships. We're like, okay.
PJ, how opportunistic were you all today? 14-0 board, 17-1 advantage, and second chance points. Just what was it like just building on top of each other?
I think it's just the energy coming into the tournament. We knew we had to come in strong, and we didn't want to start flat, and that's kind of what I just based it off of. Also, it being my senior year, you never know when my last game's going to be, so just giving my all has really just been my mindset going into this tournament.
Ladies, Durham Legacy Makers Sports. My question is kind of going into tomorrow? Like, what do you want to take from today's game and that you did that you want to try to use into tomorrow's game and get ready for George Mason?
I think tomorrow we definitely have to start out better. We can't have any slumps. And then I would say another thing is execution. A lot of times we had defensive slip-ups today, and even on offense, like we weren't hitting on screens. So I think just maybe going over film and just executing tomorrow will be big for us.
Any final questions for this?
From A10 Talk, kind of in a similar vein to the last question, you all played George Mason way back in January, and the result was not favorable for you guys. I'm curious your initial thoughts on seeing George Mason again.
We played George Mason when we were a completely different team. The first quarter was a track meet, and then they kept on the track meet and we didn't. I feel like that game is not indicative of anything. It doesn't mean a thing to us. Our kids don't remember a lot about it because it was early January. Obviously, we've watched film on them already to prepare from that game and from their more recent games. They played outstanding and they're very well coached. I think Coach Blair is just, we've known each other for 25 years and I have a lot of respect for her. But we're a completely different team. Our rotation is at 8. And when we played them, we were playing 11 and 12 people. And part of our success where we've been able to win now, I think it's 11 out of our last 14, has been because we've shortened our rotation and people have a better understanding of what their roles are. So we'll enjoy this until they're able to get some dinner in them, and then we'll move forward.
Dan, it's not often that we talk about timeouts, but you have no shots and 4 turnovers early. Just what led you to make that early decision, and what did you like from the bounce back?
We had 4 turnovers and no shots.
That's fair.
I think I wasn't shocked by that because I think there's a lot of self-induced pressure in that first game that our kids put on themselves because they have very high expectations for themselves. And we have a community and a university that has very high expectations for us. And so we did start a little bit flat, a little flustered, especially in the first game. And there wasn't any yelling or screaming or anything like that. Actually, what it was I was amazed at how long the media timeout was. It seemed like it was 4 or 5 minutes. And I told our staff from that time on, let's give them 30 to 45 seconds where we don't talk to them. Let's just let them be and let them gather themselves and let them talk amongst themselves. And we did that. But in that first time out, we knew that we had a distinct advantage. We thought we were the better team, but we knew that we had to play well. And we were able to do that after we overcame the first 3 minutes.
Coach, at the beginning of the game, it alluded to the beginning, but then it looked like it settled into a pretty consistent effort if you look at the point totals. Do you think that's indicative of the consistency of the effort that they gave today?
Well, I think that's been pretty much all of our conference play. When you look at our team, we were very well balanced with guard and post in terms of shot attempts. Our shot attempts are spread out amongst about 6 or 7 players, and we have 8 that really contribute a whole lot for us. And so we have a very balanced offense and a balanced defense. And I think Meg said it best up here. This won't win tomorrow. And we have to execute at a higher level tomorrow. And a big part of that is we've got to roll harder in the post and post long and strong. And then we have to wait on our screens and do a better job of that. And we certainly cannot start slow against a team like George Mason.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. In the first quarter, you held UMass to 26.7 from the field goal range. Just talk about your team's defense in that first quarter.
I thought we were okay. I think they helped us a little bit by missing some shots. We certainly struggled a little bit with screening action and not being where we needed to be. But we were really focused on us more so. And we wanted to start fast, which we didn't do. So when we came out of that timeout, we really talked about, just let's focus on us. Let's not worry about our opponent as much. And that's what we did from then on.
Dan, it felt like Yanni was maybe channeling her inner Connor Richardson a little bit. Just seemed like she was taking bump after bump and she just kept getting back up. Just what kind of message does that send, just having her presence there despite that contact?
Yeah, you know, Yanni took a shot to the bread basket. Well, that's an old saying. Some of you all understand. Some of you young people won't. But she took a shot to the bread basket. And, at that point, we kind of said, you know, we're going to shut her down. We kind of knew the game was at hand. And if we would have needed her, she could have gone back in, and she's completely fine. But you know, we knew what was at stake with us playing tomorrow at 1:30, and really in my role, from the moment the game starts, in the back of my mind, I'm trying to manage minutes a little bit, to keep Meg's minutes down a little bit, Amaya's minutes down a little bit, and to manage the others. And I felt pretty good about how we were able to accomplish that today.
Any final questions?
I appreciate all of you being here, and thank you for supporting women's basketball.
Congratulations.